They might as well show the generic Green Wings as marketing manager again. It's like... All right, finally the players are being introduced now. Billowy was formerly on OGS. He was using the ID Lure. And once OGS disbanded, he found his way into MVP. Solid Protoss, and he's already 1-0 in his all of his televised matches this season. Won that match against KT Rolster. And he's looking pretty ready to go here, bouncing back and forth on his chair.
This is what I do when I'm like in a lobby for something. I'm just like going back and forth. I'm like, come on, like let's get this game going already. I want to play. He doesn't look nervous at all. It's not usually that. It doesn't look like that nervous back and forth. It's that like calculated, just like you're ready to go.
It's just kind of like I want this to start. I'm just waiting. I'm just ready to go. Bunny has lost against a Protoss opponent. We saw already. We talked about this already. He did play. He's 0-1. So the stats we saw on screen were not actually accurate about Terrence for CJ Entis. And we'll see if he can tie up his stats and go 1-1 here against his Protoss opponent, Billowy. Such a funny ID. All right, we're going into game number 1 on the King Sejong station. Protoss versus Terran, Billowy versus Bunny here at the 2014 Pro League with Wolf and Brandon.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the bottom right to start things off, MVP's red Protoss player. It's Billowy.
Yeah, like a sail or maybe some smoke. His opponent to the top left in the blue for CJ Entis. It's Bunny, not a hare, not a rabbit, not a jackrabbit, but a bunny. And looky here.
Here we go.
He's going to do a bunker push.
Right to start off right in the beginning of the game. Bunny did lose, by the way, to Creator.
That's
something to note. He is up against another Protoss here, so maybe once it teens things up a little bit, see that supply depot going down, we're going to see a barracks somewhere over here.
Yeah, looks like he could, well, we'll see what he wants to do. I think he's going to just try to put it in the main base, to be honest. Although, he's taken a long roundabout path here, so he's just going to lift it.
Yeah, he's just going to lift into the main. Only one SCV coming around the map, so he's just going to try to get that right in his face. Nothing super aggressive.
He could actually start a gas and go Reapers. Okay, so he's gonna do the Reaper build. This is something that usually on most maps we're seeing at 8 supply, the 888 Reaper, but in this case 9 supply, the additional SCV, because the rest isn't on the map. This map is great for this because you just take one jump to get into the main base, and if your opponent plays greedy at all, takes any risks, then you're going to be able to punish him for that. He's not going to be able to end the game with this, but he wants to get a massive lead just by doing economic damage and putting that pressure on.
It's a very tricky build. It's I like it here in the first match, actually, because it's probably going to catch Billy off guard. It doesn't seem like he has any idea at all. He's not probe scouting at all. He's not going to be ready for this. He's just going to have to respond right when it gets in the base. He just, he's playing blind here, and this is something you can do to punish your opponent right off the bat.
Funny thing is, Billowy actually checked for proxies, but he didn't check diligently enough, and without that, there's no way to tell that this is coming, so he probably feels comfortable that it's not coming, or that at least it's a few hexes away that more than it is. And Marine is following this up, and we'll see if he decides to bunker here at all with his SCV. I don't think that he will, but he could try for it. He moves a little bit, just a hair.
Just a hair.
Just a bunny. And here we go into the main base, starting to poke away at these probes. There's no answer. The first Zealot is on the way, and he's actually starting a factory. Oh my god, he's really aggressive with this. The factory probably going to be for rallying Hellions out of this, possibly even Widow Mines, though, because that's really cheap and can actually lay work to any Stalkers or Zealots that try to chase the Reaper later. He's also following it with more Marines, so he uses his gas on the factory and not on additional Reapers.
Yeah, he's continuing to get that gas, of course. He wants to build whatever he wants out of that factory. We're going to have to see. He's just having this Reaper be so annoying. Now that the Mothership Core is out, it's going to push it away for now.
Yep, starts a second Reaper now. Once a factory is complete, I really feel Widow Mines are going to be what we see. If he starts to make siege tanks, that would be crazy, but wouldn't put it past him because his build itself is already crazy enough. He's going to go into the main base. There's a pylon on the spot. There's a bunker going up at the natural to also really start to annoy him there. He's just putting on all the aggression you can imagine in this matchup.
He's doing so much right now, so close to the Protoss base, that he's just trying to do as much damage as possible, and if he doesn't, it could really hurt him late in the round.
Yeah. So basically, the Widow Mine is, he brings the Zealot over here in the Mothership core. He's going to try to target that Widow Mine down before it actually burrows, but meanwhile, 2 Reapers going to work on that mineral line. Stalker coming out just at the right moment to ward this off, even a few probes being pulled. Great micro here by Bunny. He may lose 1 Reaper. One more shot would have done it.
Yeah, doesn't quite get it. The Robo facility started right away. He knows what's coming out of this. This Widow Mine is going to try to burrow. Is he going to get it? Oh, he gets it!
No target on the Stalker, but still kills the Zealot. That group of units inside the bunker, very annoying, going to start to damage that Nexus. And boy, oh boy, is Bunny in a good spot now. But Billowy does keep his Nexus alive, you know, and he may be able to save it with the Mothership, with the Photon Overcharge. There's no SCVs for repair, and he should be able to actually keep this alive. He's going to take some hits for sure, but he has to be careful about more Reapers. Now a 4th Reaper being added, an additional Widow Mine being added too.
Continuous Reapers, continuous Widow Mines. He's just trying to come in here and snipe as many probes as possible. He doesn't want to lose any of these Reapers. He loses 1.
Yep, there's the double jump down. Widow Mine about to come up towards that ramp. There's the Overcharge, which pushes back that bunker. He still doesn't have the Observer out just yet. And I actually feel like, you know, with no mass amount of damage done with the Widow Mines, didn't really get a whole lot there. The Nexus is complete. I think that this is something that Billowy can easily stabilize from, because he has double probe production, he has the Mothership core up, he has the robotics tech, so that's good for him. And this 1 Widow Mine will now be cleaned up by the Stalker as long as he doesn't miss micro, and he doesn't. He might even want to just try to run this away. Yeah, that's what he does.
That little cute Widow Mine just crawling away on those 4 legs. Cute but creepy.
Cute but creepy.
Yeah. Now this Barracks flying in, flying the wrong way. He's going to try to not lose that.
Did you see the BlizzCon where the there's this unit called the Shredder that came out for the alpha of Heart of the Swarm, and as you and I both know, is a bit too strong, so did not actually make it into the game. But the model of the Widow Mine still reminds me of the Shredder sometimes. Such a scary unit that Blizzard decided was not meant for competitive play.
It was just too scary.
It was really scary, man. That radiation or gas or whatever it was that came out of the Shredder didn't even shred it, just like put out some gas that killed everything around it. Imagine if he proxied one of those. The Shredder was definitely an interesting concept. For those of you who don't know, it was a unit that would kill anything in a small radius, but would be deactivated if any friendly units came into the area, so you'd have to keep it away from your own units, but it was a great defensive structure. And I think the reason cited by David Kim as the reason why it was removed from the game was because it was too strong in drop play. You know, dropping a Shredder into somebody's mineral line was like devastating.
Yeah. Was a very interesting unit to see come out.
Here we go. Hellion drop to follow things up. He's just aggression after aggression. He's chaining this together, knowing that without more pressure, eventually the Protoss is going to stabilize too much. He needs to keep that worker count low. It's already 38 to 32 with that Chrono Boost. And here we go. Hellion's already spotted these Stalkers and the Immortal. I don't think he's going to lose a whole lot here. In fact, he might not lose anything at all. Loses 1 probe. Reaper's coming in here. The Overcharge goes down, and Bunny needs to hop back.
Bunny needs to hop back, way back. He has killed a decent amount of workers, but with that second Nexus up and the Chrono Boost as well, you know, and with the Robo up as well, the tech is pretty good for Billowy right now. He's going to move out here, try to take out that factory. He doesn't want any of these annoying little aggressions into his main base. Even though it didn't do too much damage, he just doesn't want it coming out. And we see so many barracks right now on 2 base.
I think it's because he's concerned that with all this commitment to harassment, his army is relatively small, and you know, something like an Immortal push that comes out here could kill him if he doesn't have a lot of units, if he doesn't have stim, which his stim is of course also delayed by this. So he has medevacs, and that's really important because he saves the first medevac. Second medevac is about to pop out, and that means he can heal his units when the defense is up against the possible aggression. But if Billowy just sits back and says, okay, you're powering up a ton of barracks right now, I've identified this. If I just keep back with my tech and my robotic support bay up, he already has a Colossus out. If he just keeps his Colossus production going and takes the 3rd base, it's going to be hard for Bunny to catch up. Comes in here again with 2 Reapers, trying to get some damage done. He's not quite able to really make it worth it.
Yeah, but he did get a bunch of scouting information. He sees the Chrono Boost on the Robo Bay. He knows the range is coming out. He sees all the gateways as well. Another drop here at the Natural is going to do a bit of damage. This army is going to have to come over here and stop this. Doesn't quite get the medevac, gets it down to half.
Yep, Widow Mine over here at the 3rd base, just chilling. Wants to stop a probe. If the probe is spotted, going over to the 3rd base is going to burrow it at that moment. He keeps it unburrowed. so that it has vision, and also in case, say, Hallucinated Phoenix flies over it, or just any other unit walks nearby, like one Zealot, to clear up any SCV scouts. He doesn't want to waste that shot. Wants to make sure he gets on the probe. Another drop here going towards the main base. We'll see how much he can get done with this. A cannon is on the way. He's going to turn this Colossus around.
Yeah, wants to make sure this Colossus doesn't get focused. Yeah, Bunny knows he can't really focus it down. He's just going to pull out. Not much damage he can do there. Just wants to keep Billowy back. Like you said before, he just wants to get as much damage done as possible with these drops while he does have this tech out.
With all the harassment, Bunny has kept a pretty competitive worker count here, 48 to 50. And as a Terran player, you always want to be, you know, as far towards the Protoss player as you can. There's that probe being killed by the Widowmine, as I was describing earlier, so that delays the third base. But if you're ahead in Harvesters, plus the Mules, you're always going to have a way better mineral income than your opponent. And that's a great place to be. So you can feel pretty comfortable knowing this. The third base that he delayed is now going down. And he's going to start his own third command, so he's got an SCV poised over there. And this game kind of stabilizes. We're at a place where this aggressive proxy play led us to a very interesting opening. But Bunny is pushing out the units hardcore right now. He's got a massive army. That's why his supply jumps up to 120, because he's not spending gas on tech like Billowy is to try to get the Colossi out, to get the range, to transition, to get the upgrades. He's just going army, and more army, and that means his supply is going to shoot up like this.
Yep. He's making those Vikings as well. He wants to make sure he can keep down this Colossi count. It looks like the Colossi production was stopped for now. Look at this. Oh my god, so many of these SCVs. Looks like he doesn't want to go for that command center, actually.
Yeah.
So many of these SCVs pulled. He wants to just take down this third base at least.
Charge is on the way. Storm is just not going to happen. And if he can target those Colossi down with the Marauder count he has, he might be able to actually just end this game here.
Yep.
Where are the forces? Mothership Core goes down. Nothing coming out of that Mothership Core, and that's not enough units. Not even close. The first Colossus is already gone. The second one's starting to go down. SCV is not able to close the gap, but Vikings do eliminate that second Colossus. He can actually just fly onto the high ground and land. And this looks like it may be the end of Billowy here. Tried to tech too much, got punished. And here comes the army of Bunny, taking out that Nexus. GG.
Bunny doing a little celebration there. He's got to be happy. Taking that win, doing a similar build to MVP, not quite the super crisp build, but pulling all those SCVs and just going for the kill. Had a very nice composition there, not enough Colossi, like you said, just trying to get too much at the same time was Billowy. Had 4 gateways, trying to get Storm, not enough Colossi. And eventually, with the SCV pull, Bunny does take this first win for CJ Antis.
Getting the high fives from his team. There's Coach Park. You know, the whole team looks a little bit like they're very happy for his win, but until the series is over, they're not going to relax. That's the feeling I get from them. That win was pretty nicely done, because his initial pressure did a little bit of damage. He just never stopped. He kept dropping. He kept making more Reapers, and even the Hellion drop that he did a little bit of damage. And a little bit goes a long way when you power up those barracks and go for a timing. He knew that was his only chance, because the tech of the Protoss was going to be something he couldn't contend with. Already the third base was coming up. His third base was a little bit late. He had a great worker count to power up those barracks, but he knew that tech was something he was falling behind in, and that's what a Terran player will do in that type of situation, whether it was planned from the beginning, like what we saw from MVP yesterday, or